50 billion trees in the desert in the Middle East. As you mentioned, there is so many technology it can be used in order to help. And also my colleague regarding the plastic, I wish you the good things, because we know that before 2 or 3 days or last week, the discussion about the plastic, the new agreement for using the plastic, it is a new challenge coming for the factories or industry for the plastic. But just to encourage you to get in touch with our colleagues, they are there. I think if they listen to you, the technology that what we have, I think it is amazing things. It will help us a lot to achieve our objective, which is regarding the carbon capture, regarding the credit, many things, I think, what we saw today. So just to encourage you, United Arab Emirates, this is the cup there for climate change, and for also the Green Initiative, the Middle East Green Initiative, that it helps to progress our objective. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe we can hand over to another question. Thank you very much for this statement.
Excellencies, my name is Sigi Kiss, and I'm representing Iraq, Austria. I really think I'm the white elephant in the class, because it was several times mentioned as the hydrogen storage company. Yes, we did first try to store hydrogen. And secondly, and it was fascinating for Mr. Greiler, because I didn't know that the second company in Austria is dealing with this technology to split natural gas into hydrogen and carbon. What we can say is that we opened the first, really the first functioning facility in Austria. And I would like to invite you all, probably if you're interested, to visit that in Kremsmünster. Really, we split natural gas into hydrogen and solid carbon. And I really, because this is my first time in this group here, and I will fly tomorrow to COP28 also to present this technology, because this is really, let's say, a valid contribution to climate change solutions with the transition part. And I was fascinated that there is a second company. I didn't know that in Austria. We use plasmalysis to split methane into hydrogen and solid carbon. Thank you very much for this contribution.
Well, thank you. I think it's a good place to inform about all the Austrian activities in this regard. Thank you very much. Another question or statement?
It's more of a question, thank you. My name is Mohammed Kobasi. Perhaps I step forward for the audience to see me. My name is Mohammed Kobasi. I'm from Probund Green Hydrogen. My question goes to Professor Greiner. Regarding the technology, do you have any units which are commercially up and in production already, or at what stage is it? Thank you.
It functions now? Okay. Thank you for the question. No, we are in the pilot phase. We know it from the laboratory size, and now we want to find a special kind of strong investor to go this way together. We have the knowledge. I hope otherwise other guys have and want to finance us in this topic, because our knowledge is really deep and really excellent, and we want to go to the countries. We stay in the United Emirates, in Abu Dhabi. We are connected with some guys from the government. We spoke with them. We hope it will be well in the next decade. We don't know. And then we will show the world to genuine greening desert. Believe me, we will do it, really.
That's a great ambition, but thanks again. Good luck with that. Much. Let's have a conversation later, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. One more question over there, please. Yeah. The last one then.
Thank you, dear Excellencies. I would like to ask you about Master Initiative project. My name is Gökhan Yildirim. I am the president of the World Sustainable Energy Institute. We deal with smart cities and sustainable cities. Have some projects in Iraq, connections, and Azerbaijan and India as well. For me, it's important. What's your experience about Master Initiative? Are you happy about smart cities? Or do you have new challenges like sustainable smart cities? Just to learn of your experience about Master. Thank you.
May I ask you, Mr. Ambassador?
Yes, sure. Thank you for the couple of points actually being mentioned here about the importance of COP28, and I thank you, Ambassador of Saudi, to bring this issue up. This is part of the UAE policy to attract climate solutions, and being a host of the COP28 has been not only privileged but also trying to introduce new ideas, practical solution for addressing climate change issues. And this links me back to your question, which is how is Masdar initiatives doing? Masdar is one of the early initiatives. Took place in around 2008 or even around that time frame, and it was a beacon for starting this movement of focusing more on environmental challenges, but also introducing the concept of smart cities, which is a comprehensive way of looking at addressing climate issues, not just the energy part, but also looking at how you build the building, how you generate or recycle your waste, how to go with your mobility, and so on. So Masdar at that time, as you can imagine, the advancement in environmental tech and also advancement in the global discussion when it comes to climate change is not as advanced as it is today. But Masdar did a great job in leading that effort and continue to do that as kind of brokering, but also steering or spearheading the discussion when it comes to climate solution. Since then, Masdar has quite a long range of achievements driving the climate technology and climate or environmental solutions into more advanced phase. For example, when it comes to energy, Masdar has been one of the early adapters for solar plants and the movement of wind and other clean and renewable technology, not only in the UAE but also beyond the UAE. So we see their projects today are actually many of them outside the UAE, and they have strong programs when it comes to joint R&D as well, supporting multiple technology development to address climate change. So Masdar has been very successful, if you ask me about my experience, and continue to be a leading factor for the climate solution movement, and been also the source of many initiatives that's supporting the UAE policy, but also the global discussion when it comes to climate solutions.
So you are happy with this investment?
Yes, I mean, Masdar has been when you build a solar plant in 2008, imagine how much challenging it would be to convince everybody to do it. And to be able to spearhead that kind of movement has been, I think, rewarding, because today you see the UAE transformation when it comes, the energy transformation when it comes to renewables and number of solar plants, and one of the biggest in the world, as you mentioned earlier, is a result of these early movement, and that Masdar has a lot to do with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I think we came to a point where we learned so much about solutions. Let me just summarize it. What is so fascinating about this discussion is it has an optimistic point of view. When we learn about all the crises and problems we are dealing with every day, you hear on media every day people stacking up and saying there is no perspective. What we did today is we created a perspective on a sustainable future, on a sustainable production and consumption of energy. The answer is technology. The answer is collaboration. I'm very grateful for this forum, which is the basis of a cooperation and collaboration between Austria, my city of Vienna, and the Arabic world. This will be the positive outlook on the solution for the world. Thank you very much. The podium is closed.
Thank you. أخذنا. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome two ministers who join us just now, coming from the UNIDO conference. Allow me to welcome His Excellency, the Libyan Minister of Industry and Mining, His Excellency Ahmed Abu Hisa. A wonderful welcome, Excellency. Also welcome His Excellency Mohammed Al-Ashwal, Minister of Industry and Trade of the Republic of Yemen. Most welcome, Excellency. And allow me to ask one of the ministers, His Excellency Sayyid Ahmed Abu Hisa from Libya, to deliver a very small speech. And I would like to ask him. تفضل معالي الوزير.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. أحمد أبو هيسة، وزير الصناعة والمعادن بحكومة الوحدة الوطنية. الحقيقة أنا دعيت مؤخرا لهذا الاجتماع المبارك، ولم أحضر شيء، ولكن سأدلو بدلوي كممثل عن حكومة الوحدة الوطنية.
Ja, wonderful good morning. Frieden sei mit Ihnen allen. I'll translate into German. I think everybody understands either German or Arabic. Einen wunderschönen guten Morgen. Der Minister hat sich vorgestellt. Er repräsentiert die Regierung der nationalen Einheit in Libyen. Und er wurde kürzlich informiert, dass diese Veranstaltung stattfindet. Er hat nichts vorbereitet, aber er wird sein Bestes versuchen.
أنا لن أطيل كثيرا، ولكن سأتحدث عن الإمكانيات في ليبيا من خلال استعراض مجموعة من البرامج التي قامت بها وزارة الصناعة والمعادن بحكومة الوحدة الوطنية.
Ich werde nicht viel erzählen, aber einige Projekte der aktuellen Regierung möchte ich hier mit auflisten.
يعلم الجميع أن دولة ليبيا من الدول النفطية والغنية بالموارد المعدنية أيضا.
Jeder weiß, dass Libyen eigentlich reich an Erdöl, Vorkommnisse, fossile Energie und aber auch Mineralien.
أما في مجال النفط والغاز فليبيا من كبار المنتجين في النفط والغاز.
Gas und Öl ist Libyen einer der größten Produzenten weltweit.
أما في مجال المعادن فليبيا تزخر بالعديد من المعادن التي حباها الله بها، ولم تستثمر الاستثمار الأمثل خلال السنوات السابقة، وحان الوقت إلى أن بدأنا أو شرعنا في البحث عن الاستثمار الحقيقي في ليبيا في مجال المعادن.
Was Mineralien betrifft, hat Gott uns mit sehr viel Mineralien versehen. Wir haben sehr viele Ressourcen. Bis jetzt haben wir es nicht geschafft, eigentlich diese Mineralien zu produzieren und auch offiziell bzw. auf den Weltmarkt zu bringen. Wir sind aber dabei, dies zu planen, und dort ergeben sich sehr gute Möglichkeiten.
يعلم الجميع أن الموقع الجغرافي المميز لليبيا على حوض البحر المتوسط، على الشط الجنوبي للبحر المتوسط. هذه الميزة تتمتع بها عن باقي الدول من خلال لديها شاطئ يربو عن 1900 كيلومتر. هذا الموقع الجغرافي يجعل من ليبيا هي بوابة أفريقيا من أوروبا، وكذلك بوابة أوروبا من أفريقيا.
Libyen hat eine sehr gute geografische Lage. Es steht im südlichen Teil des Mittelmeeres und gilt als Gate, als Tür für Afrika.
فليس هناك من بد إلا وأن تكون ليبيا مستقرة وبها الاستثمارات الحقيقية، سواء كان من خلال نقل التكنولوجيا من أوروبا ومن الدول الآسيوية وكذلك الأمريكية وكذلك أمريكا، والثروة الهائلة التي توجد بليبيا خاصة المعدنية. وأنا أتحدث هنا بصفتي وزير للصناعة والمعادن. فالواجب على هذه الدول أن تتجه باستثماراتها الحقيقية لدولة ليبيا لما يوجد في هذه الدولة من إمكانيات هائلة من المعادن، سواء كانت المعادن الداخلة في صناعة مواد البناء. وبالمناسبة أنا معي في الوفد رئيس مجلس إدارة الشركة الليبية للحديد والصلب، وهي أكبر شركة ممكن في الشرق الأوسط لصناعة الحديد. هذه الإمكانيات التي توجد بهذه الشركة تجعلها من الشركات الرائدة في مجال صناعة الحديد.
So, Libyen offeriert hier eine Partnerschaft zwischen Technologieinhaber und eben dem Staat. Wir haben, wie gesagt, eine immense Ressourcen, wenn es darum geht, Mineralien aus dem Land zu fördern und zu produzieren. Mit mir in der Delegation gibt es einige Unternehmen und unter anderem auch das größte staatliche Unternehmen, wo man Stahl produziert bzw. Stahl auch erweitert produzieren will. Und hier das Angebot gilt, dass eben diese Partnerschaften zwischen Europa, den Vereinigten Staaten und Libyen, dass diese Regierung in Libyen unterstützt.
بدأنا نحن في وزارة الصناعة بإعداد خطة طموحة للنهوض بالصناعة من خلال مجموعة برامج واضحة المعالم، وأنشأنا العديد من المؤسسات التي يمكن من خلالها الوصول إلى أفضل الطرائق التي تؤدي إلى الاستثمار الحقيقي في مجال الصناعة والمعادن.
Mit dieser Regierung haben wir ein sehr ambitioniertes Programm auf die Beine gestellt, wo wir Teile dieser Ressourcen fördern wollen. Und wenn diese Programme durchgeführt werden, wird Libyen darstellen als einer der größten Produzenten.
وأعتقد النمسا هي من أكثر البلدان تصديرا، أو هناك تبادل تجاري كبير بين النمسا ودولة ليبيا، وهذا يعطي مؤشر أن بالإمكان أن نزيد من قيمة هذه أو قدرة هذه التبادلات التجارية.
Österreich ist das größte Land zwischen den arabischen Ländern, wenn es darum geht, das Handelsvolumen zwischen Österreich, bilaterale Handelsvolumen zwischen Österreich und den arabischen Staaten. Und wir können durch diese Intensivierung bei den Mineralien, können wir diesen Handelsvolumen noch mehr intensivieren.
الحقيقة نحن في ليبيا بدأ القطاع الخاص وبشكل كبير في إنشاء المجمعات الكبيرة خاصة في صناعة المواد الغذائية، وأكاد أجزم أن ليبيا الآن مكتفية ذاتيا من ناحية صناعة المواد الغذائية.
Ja, es sei erwähnt, dass wir im Bereich der Lebensmittelproduktion sozusagen self-sufficient, das heißt, wir produzieren all das, was wir an Lebensmitteln konsumieren in Libyen.
الحقيقة الإعلام اشتغل على دولة ليبيا بشكل غير منصف وصور ليبيا أنها ليبيا دولة إرهاب ودولة حروب، ولكن العكس يثبت هذا العكس يثبت ذلك أن ليبيا الآن تقام فيها الصروح الصناعية الكبيرة. وخلال سنة 23 أنا شخصيا قمت مع دولة رئيس مجلس وزراء قمنا والعديد من الوزراء قمنا بافتتاح العديد من المجمعات الصناعية، وهذا إن دل إنما يدل على أن البيئة الليبية هي بيئة جاهزة وجاذبة للاستثمار. فقط نحاول أن نعطي الصورة الحقيقية للوضع الحقيقي لليبيا. ليبيا الآن جاهزة للاستثمار الأجنبي والمحلي سواء بالشراكة أو بالاستثمار المباشر، والقوانين الليبية في الاستثمار قوانين جدا شهد لها القاسي قبل الداني بأن ليبيا تمتلك قوانين استثمار جدا جاذبة وبها نقاط قوة كما ذكرت سلفا، الموقع الجغرافي والطاقة الهائلة الموجودة في ليبيا، وكذلك رخص الطاقة مقارنة بالدول الأخرى خاصة أوروبا.
Wir haben in diesem Jahr 2023 gemeinsam mit seiner Exzellenz Premierminister Libyen einige industrielle Städte eröffnet auf der Basis der geltenden Investitionsrecht in Libyen. Es zeigt, dass das Recht eigentlich sehr gute Grundlage, eine Basis dafür gibt, um diese Institutionen zu gründen. Wir laden alle ein, hier hineinzugehen. Vielleicht hat man vorher in den Medien gehört, dass Libyen nur aus Chaos und Terror und so weiter und so fort besteht. Dem kann man nicht zustimmen, denn das Land befindet sich in der Besserung und befindet sich in einer Situation, wo eben Basis zur Investition in Libyen gibt.
وأنا من هذا المنبر أدعو كل الشركات والمستثمرين في أوروبا وفي أشقائنا في الدول العربية إلى الاتجاه إلى دولة ليبيا لما تزخر به من إمكانيات هائلة وبيئة مواتية للاستثمار. وبهذه المناسبة لدينا الآن بعض الشركات الأجنبية سواء كانت الألمانية والنمساوية وكذلك بعض الشركات العربية اللي دخلت بشكل رسمي في الاستثمار في قطاع الصناعة وفي مجال التعدين على الأخص، ناهيك على قطاع النفط اللي معروفة يعني الشركات الأجنبية حتى في أصعب الظروف لم تغادر ليبيا، وهذا دليل قاطع على أن البيئة الليبية بيئة جاذبة وبيئة جاهزة، ونحن مستعدون كحكومة وحدة وطنية إلى أن نقدم كافة التسهيلات للولوج في البيئة الليبية والاستثمار فيها بشكل رسمي.
Wir laden alle in Europa, in Österreich, aber auch in allen arabischen Ländern diese Grundlage, die stabile Grundlage zur Investition wahrzunehmen und nach Libyen zu kommen, um dort auch im Bereich der Industrialisierung einiges durchzusetzen. Das Land lässt alle willkommen heißen und gibt sozusagen die mögliche und fruchtbare Grundlage.
أخيرا في مجال التعدين، وأريد أن أوظف هذا المصطلح بأرقام، يعني أكاد أجزم أن بعض الأرقام لم يتم حصرها في مجال التعدين خاصة في صناعة الجبس وكذلك المواد الداخلة في صناعة الإسمنت وكافة أنواع أو مواد الداخلة في صناعة مواد البناء. ليبيا دولة بكر في هذا الأمر وتحتاج إلى نهضة قوية ونهضة صناعية في هذا المجال. ومن هذا المنبر أدعو كل الشركات الراغبة في الاستثمار فلتتوجه إلى ليبيا من خلال مؤسساتها. وكذلك يعني الآن أنا من هذا المنبر أقول أن هناك مجمع سيقام لمواد البناء، حوالي 10 مصانع في السيليكا وفي الإسمنت البرتلاندي والإسمنت الأبيض والعديد من السلع، عديد من الأنواع في مجال التعدين، بالشراكة بين شركات ليبية محلية وشركات ألمانية ونمساوية وسويسرية عفوا. فهذا دليل قاطع على أننا ماضون فعلا في مجال التنمية وماضون في زيادة حجم التبادل التجاري بين ليبيا والنمسا وباقي الدول الأوروبية وكذلك الدول العربية الشقيقة.
Im Bereich der Gipsherstellung, Zement, aber auch Baumaterialien gibt es unglaubliche Möglichkeiten. Gemäß unsere Reports, wenn es um die Erdressourcen in Libyen geht. Deshalb laden wir alle, hier zu investieren. Wir haben bereits einige Länder, die in Libyen in dem Bereich investieren, und sie werden große Industrieanlagen demnächst in Libyen eröffnen.
أخيرا وليس آخرا سأختم. أنا أولا أعتذر أني ما حضرتش، ولكن هذا ما دار في خلدي في هذا المجال. أوروبا تعاني بشكل كبير من الهجرة، ولا يمكن الحد من الهجرة إلا بإقامة برامج ومشاريع تنموية حقيقية، وهو ما يسمى بالتنمية المكانية في الدول المطلة على جنوب المتوسط وكذلك دول الساحل والصحراء. وهذا الأمر سيحد من تدفق المهاجرين إلى أوروبا، لأن المهاجرين يعني ضاقت بهم السبل وتوجهوا لأوروبا للبحث على مصادر عيش أفضل، رغم أن الموارد موجودة في هذه القارة الأفريقية بشكل كبير، وخاصة الشمال منها. ونحن يعني فاتحين ذراعينا لكل من يريد أن يقدم إلى دولة ليبيا الاستثمارات الحقيقية، وليس كل من يقدم السلاح والاقتتال والمماحكات على مصير الدولة الليبية. الدولة الليبية بإذن الله ستنهض، الدولة الليبية بإذن الله برجالها بساستها بشبابها ستنهض وستتبوأ مكانتها كما كانت. بارك الله فيكم.
حياكم.
شكرا.
Wir haben in den letzten Wochen, Monate und Jahre darüber berichtet, wie die Migrationsströme von Afrika nach Europa gehen, obwohl Afrika und auch Libyen als sozusagen Tor für das Kontinent Afrika von der Sichtweise Europa gilt. Hier gibt es sehr, sehr viele Ressourcen. Wenn man die Industrialisierung vorantritt, dann kann man davon sicher gehen, dass diese Strömungen ebben und weniger werden. Und das ist das Angebot, das wir an alle richten und eben Sie als Investoren in Libyen haben. Vielen Dank, Herr Bundesminister. Many thanks for you for these kind words. And I have been asked by His Excellency also, Minister Mohammed Al-Ashwal, the Minister of Industry and Trade of the Yemeni Republic, to take the floor. The floor is yours, sir. I'm sorry. بالعربي ولا بالعربي؟ So, I have ich muss noch einmal übersetzen. Ja.
مساء الخير.
Wonderful good day.
أنا سعيد أن أكون في المنتدى أو في النسخة 13 للمنتدى الاقتصادي العربي النمساوي.
Ich freue mich, dass ich hier bei diesem Forum, das sich zum 13. Mal ereignet, dabei bin.
سأتكلم بصورة مختصرة.
Ich werde sehr kurz reden.
العلاقات العربية النمساوية علاقة تجارية قديمة وعلاقة راسخة.
Die Beziehung zwischen Österreich und den arabischen Ländern ist eine sehr essentielle, eine traditionelle und historische.
الغرفة التجارية العربية النمساوية غرفة ناشطة وتقدم كثير من الآراء والمقترحات.
Die österreichisch-arabische Handelskammer ist eine sehr aktive Kammer und gibt sehr viel Rat und Tat für diese Beziehung.
اليمن يمر بمرحلة استثنائية الكل يتابع أخبارها.
Yemen macht eine sehr schwierige Zeit im Moment durch.
وهي ما زالت بلد خام.
Aber es ist ein Land, das rohe Ressourcen besitzt.
والفرص الاقتصادية والاستثمارية ما زالت في بدايتها.
Die Investition und auch das Vorantreiben der Wirtschaft in Jemen ist am Anfang.
نحن اليوم كحكومة شرعية ندعو للسلام ونشكر كل الدول التي تساهم في مشروع السلام والاستقرار في البلاد.
Wir als die aktuelle Regierung Jemen, wir suchen und unterstützen und wollen den Frieden in unserem Land und unterstützen alle, die diesen Frieden wollen.
الانقلاب الذي حدث من العصابة الحوثية أعاد أو عمل إشكالات كثيرة خاصة في الجوانب الاقتصادية والصناعية وتسرب كثير لرأس المال الوطني.
Das, was an Umsturz Jemen erlebt hat zuletzt durch die Gruppe Al-Houthi, hat viel von den Ressourcen verschwendet in diesem Land und auch das Geld, das dieses Land inne hatte, verschwendet. Ja.
الأمم المتحدة اليوم تناقش مشروع الهدنة والسلام الطويل في البلاد والذي نأمل أن يتحقق سريعا من أجل أيضا أن نبدأ بالمشروع الاقتصادي والصناعي.
Die UNO diskutiert im Augenblick die Situation im Jemen, den Staat für die wirtschaftliche Entwicklung und für die Investitionen in unserem Land.
هناك فرص كبيرة خاصة في مجال أو مشروع الإعمار في اليمن للمرحلة القادمة.
Was das Housing betrifft und auch die Entwicklung, die Immobilienentwicklung und Errichtung von Häusern ist ein sehr großes Projekt und Vorhaben für Jemen.
مثل هذه المنتديات هي تؤكد وتعزز العلاقة العربية النمساوية.
So eine Konferenz unterstützt die bilaterale Beziehung zwischen Österreich und den arabischen Ländern.
وأنا من هنا أشكر الغرفة التجارية العربية النمساوية على الجهود التي تبذلها وعلى التواصل الطويل مع القطاعات الصناعية والاقتصادية في البلدان العربية.
Der Minister bedankt sich bei der österreichisch-arabischen Handelskammer und bei allen Stakeholdern, die die Beziehung zwischen Österreich und den arabischen Ländern sehr massiv unterstützen und auf einem anderen Level bringen.
أشكركم مرة أخرى وأتمنى للمنتدى التوفيق وللمعرض الجميل أيضا التطور والاستمرار.
Ich danke euch noch einmal und hoffe, dass diese Konferenz eigentlich Erfolg bekommt. Natürlich auch die Ausstellung, die bei dieser Konferenz stattfindet.
أشكركم مرة أخرى.
Vielen Dank.
والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Und der Friede sei mit euch. Vielen Dank. Mahdi. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome also His Excellency George Bushikian, the Lebanese Minister of Industry. Warm welcome to you, sir. So, little bit delayed. Allow me to call upon our Saudi brothers and sisters, and mainly our President, Minister Fasl, to take the lead. I will call upon Mr. Rakan AlGaraawi. Mr. Ahmed Al-Umar will join us virtually. Mr. Sulaiman Al-Humaidan, Diplom Ingenieur Dr. Mario Müller, unser Freund Peter Lieber und auch der Representative the representative of the Ministry of Energy of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Werner, bitte.
So in the meantime, until everybody is seating or has been seating, we take a photo very shortly, okay? So, please. Okay. A photo. Yeah. Closer. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this is now not only our final point of agenda, it's our second workshop, and this workshop goes on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I do not have to tell you about the importance of this country. 1,400 years ago, from there, a development started that still is influencing the whole world. And just a few years ago, a new development started or on the basis of quite a substantial powerhouse that is existent, that the new crown prince, MBS, as he is called everywhere in the world, Mohammed bin Salman, has started to change this country in a way that you really only can say this is almost unique. And Saudi Arabia has become one of the most dynamic factors, not only of world economy, but also of world politics. And insofar, this certainly is an important workshop. I don't want to talk too much about it myself. We have specialists here, and we also will have the opportunity to meet somebody virtually, and therefore I immediately want to start. I just want to welcome all our speakers. I start with Mr. Rakan AlGaraawi. He is knowing not only Saudi Arabia, but also Europe, being located in Germany because he is the Associate International Office Director in Germany. Then we will get a speech from Mr. Ahmed Al-Umar. He is coming from the Ministry of Investment, and he will make a message just digitally. Then we do have the opportunity also to listen to Sulaiman Al-Humaidan, the commercial attaché. He is the commercial attaché at the Royal Embassy of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Germany. So he is knowing the European landscape, and he is also knowing excellently what is going on in Saudi Arabia, what is possible, what is not possible, where are the opportunities, the chances, the challenges. Okay. And then, of course, we also want to present a little bit the European side with Diplom Engineer Dr. Mario Müller. He is the head of research and development of Emerald Horizon company. And he will talk about the future of carbon-free energy supply
as everybody can see, carbon-free energy future is one of the really important topics, not only of this day, but of our future. And at the end also, Mr. Peter Lieber will tell us a little bit, not only about resources, but also about software in order to manage all these processes. And I want immediately to start with you, Mr. Rakan AlGaraawi. Please give us a short insight. What is going on? How do you see the situation? What can we do in order to make Austrian and Saudi Arabian relations at least to a commercial success? Yes, please.
Einen wunderschönen guten Tag. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Your Excellency Faslab, and thank you to our generous hosts, dear Excellencies, distinguished guests. It's my privilege today on behalf of the Ministry of Investment Saudi Arabia to give you a little bit of an insight on Vision 2030, the developments that the Kingdom has been going through over the past years, the targets we have set for ourselves, the opportunities this offers for international companies and as well as government corporations. And as His Excellency Faslab said, the core topics that I personally like to highlight, of course, are sustainability, renewable energy, and I think specifically there, Saudi Arabia has a lot to offer, and Austria specifically as well has a lot of solutions that we can benefit from. To jump right into it, Vision 2030 was mentioned. It was launched in 2016. It has set Saudi Arabia on an ambitious path and specifically on a cultural, social, and economic transformation. Vision 2030 is based on three main pillars. It's a vibrant society, a thriving economy, and an ambitious nation. Under each of these pillars, there's KPIs that have been set and have been communicated throughout the government entities as well as the private sector in Saudi Arabia. I just want to highlight a couple of the numbers to not overcrowd it. But some of the targets that are set are, for instance, to decrease unemployment in Saudi Arabia from 12% in 2016 to 7% by 2030. Also, what is one of the main mandates of my ministry, to increase the foreign direct investments from 1.3% of GDP to 5.7% of the GDP by 2030. We're also looking, of course, to look at social aspects and increase the home ownership, for instance, from 47% in 2016 to 70% by 2030. And one of the main targets, of course, as well, is to diversify the economy, decrease the reliance on oil revenues, and increase the non-oil government revenues to $267 billion by 2030, from a mere 43 billion in 2016. A topic I'd like to highlight as well is Saudi Arabia has a large young population and a lot of women in the young population as well. So one of the targets that has been set is to increase the women's participation in the workforce to 30% by 2030 from 22% in 2016. Enabling us in achieving all of these targets, we are in the lucky position to have the funds in Saudi Arabia and to have a well-working economy. So among others, the Public Investment Fund is one of the facilitators, looking to increase the assets under management with the PIF to $2 trillion by 2030 from a previous 160 billion in 2016. This kind of gives you a little bit of an indication of the magnitude of the transformations and the projects that we are establishing and launching in the kingdom. Now, a small glimpse on where we are today. Already, we have decreased the unemployment to 9.7%. The foreign direct investments have been increased to 2.3%. The home ownership, with a variety of initiatives through government and semi-government entities, has been increased to 60%. Non-oil government revenue, the number is a little bit old here, is at $107.5 billion in 2021, as mentioned, from 43 billion in 2016. And the women's participation in the workforce has already been overachieved to the set targets of Vision 2030 with 35.6%. This is a good point to mention, actually, that Vision 2030's targets are considered to be a milestone in the journey of Saudi Arabia's economic, social, and cultural transformation. By no means do we stop when we achieve those milestones, but they indicate the ambition we have by the deadline of 2030 and beyond then. When we come to the public investment fund assets under management, we've already achieved 620 billion US dollars. I believe the number actually is already 650 billion US dollars now. Sorry. That being said, this leads us to a paradigm shift in the economic transformation and the economic growth of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is targeting to become the 15th largest economy in the world by 2030. We achieve that, or we strive to achieve that, with a transformation in the economic growth, and we're looking at private sector-led initiatives taking over from state-led initiatives. We're looking at an oil-driven economy to be transformed in a productivity-driven economy. With that, to why businesses currently choose Saudi Arabia as a business hub and to establish and grow their sustainable success. Saudi Arabia is a strong and resilient G20 economy. We are predicted to be the first in population growth over the next 5 years among the G20 countries. We are second lowest in inflation among the G20 countries, and we are second lowest in debt to GDP ratio among the G20 countries. Lastly, I'd like to highlight that Saudi Arabia is first in regards to economic growth among G20 countries. This offers unparalleled opportunities for international companies, specifically Austrian companies, in participating in the opportunities that Saudi Arabia offers. For one, there's large privatization programs that we encourage international companies, specifically in partnership with Saudi companies or on their own, to benefit from. There's the localization of value chains, where we have specific strategies that look at benefiting this target and that look at enabling and facilitating the entry of companies to specifically support this. And last but not least, the mega and giga projects that are being developed as we speak in Saudi Arabia, many of which I believe are very well known by now. I'd like to highlight only a few of these mega and giga projects. You can see on the map there's quite a lot, and there's more being launched regularly. But what I want to touch on is NEOM, for instance, which I believe everybody by now, almost everybody by now, has heard of. Then we have the Red Sea project as a recreational hub. We have Qiddiya, we have Al-Ulla. So here I want to highlight that we have mega and giga projects throughout the line of sectors. We're looking at renewable energy generation, we're looking at cities of the future, but also sustainable recreational areas, as well as cultural and heritage sites, sports and entertainment. All of that is covered within the strategy for the mega and giga projects in Saudi Arabia. A small glimpse on the different projects that are under NEOM. NEOM itself is a project in the size of Belgium. So the land allocated to it covers the size of Belgium. One of the projects there is The Line. The Line is considered to be the city of the future. It offers opportunities for investors in a huge variety of sectors. Among, I think, the most interesting would be innovation, ICT, as well as renewable energy, since NEOM is also considered to be the hydrogen hub, one of the hydrogen hubs of Saudi Arabia. The city has a project size of 26,500 square meters. Another one would be Oxagon. Oxagon being an industrial hub, as well as The Line, also Oxagon is targeting to be 100% based on renewable energy sources. So, as I mentioned, sustainability is at the heart of almost all the projects and all of the developments that we're going through in Saudi Arabia. Oxagon offers opportunities for companies to establish their presence in the NEOM area, as well as benefit from the networks and the future-driven initiatives that are being transformed and being implemented in Saudi Arabia. Going to a tourist attraction, a recreational hub, the Red Sea project is at the heart of the Red Sea. It has one of the aspects I like to highlight. It has a sustainable concept that looks at protecting the coral reefs, protecting the environment around it, the natural surroundings. So this is one thing that is worth stressing, that with the developments, specifically with the Red Sea as well, the implementation of the project within the natural surroundings is a major priority for us. Qiddiya, I've mentioned before. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but sports, entertainment, all of these things that have previously not necessarily been seen directly in combination with Saudi Arabia are becoming more and more attractive, more and more interesting, and they offer a lot of opportunities, also greenfield opportunities for Austrian companies to participate and support us in growing these sectors. Last but not least of the projects that I want to highlight is Al-Ulla. Al-Ulla, a heritage site with a lot of cultural background, and definitely something when you visit Saudi Arabia, you should plan an extra day to have a look at that. Back to business. Saudi Arabia, in addition, has a strategic geographic location. We have over 50 of the fastest growing markets in the world within 4 hours reach, and we have over 40% of the world's GDP within 6 hours reach. Logistically, this is also supported by a very strong interconnected network. Saudi Arabia has 29 airports, 10 seaports, and over 40 industrial cities and special zones developed. This encourages, of course, companies to have their manufacturing as well as their servicing or even their regional headquarters within Saudi Arabia. And we have a lot of initiatives and incentives that support companies to also export out of Saudi Arabia. So we don't only want to consider Saudi Arabia as a country in itself, which I believe the economy is already interesting enough, but we also would like you to consider the regional hub and the regional function that Saudi Arabia can offer to international companies. It's also backed by a modern digital infrastructure. I don't want to waste, or I don't want to spend too much time, so I'm just going to highlight two aspects. For one, Saudi Arabia, with the young population, has 95% internet usage penetration, which I believe is among the highest in the world. And we have 97% of the Saudi region covered by 4G, which also is a number that is quite considerable. And His Excellency the Ambassador mentioned it earlier, and it's a topic I definitely like to highlight. There is projects that we've launched over the past year that are specifically targeted not only in considering sustainability with our projects, but also in proactively working on sustainable solutions and in reducing the carbon footprint in Saudi Arabia and in the region. With the Saudi Green Initiative, we have set the target by 2060 to achieve carbon neutrality. And proactively, we're supporting that with initiatives such as, for instance, to plant 10 billion trees within Saudi Arabia and 40 billion trees in addition in cooperation with neighboring governments, such as the United Arab Emirates, which was mentioned earlier before. Coming towards the end, I just want to highlight how companies can access all of these opportunities in Saudi Arabia, how we as a government support and facilitate the market entry, and how we set our targets specifically as a Ministry of Investment as well. For one, we have launched a national investment strategy. The national investment strategy is based on 4 pillars. It looks at the investment opportunities, so identifying and creating clear, accessible investment opportunities for local and international companies. We look at the investors and the ecosystem around the investors, what requirements investors have, what kind of funding, what kind of contacts, what kind of partnerships they might require. We look at the funding specifically, so in creating the right funding options from the banking systems through industrial funds and other options that we provide, customized to the projects and the strategic values they add to Saudi Arabia. And last but not least, we're looking at the competitiveness, since we know that foreign direct investments globally is a competitive field, And we are convinced Saudi Arabia is one of the most attractive and will become the most attractive investment hub globally. We are looking at the possibilities we can offer to best suit the needs of international companies in establishing and sustaining their presence and a positive and successful business in Saudi. I only want to highlight one figure here, and that's to stress the ambitions we have in Saudi Arabia. By 2030, we're looking to increase the foreign direct investments inflows and outflows 20-fold. And we're on a very good way. For our ministry, the Ministry of Investment, our mandate has expanded over the past years. So now we don't only look at attracting investments into Saudi Arabia, but we also support Saudi investments abroad and anything that enables and facilitates the investment ecosystem. Among that is the business environment, which we as a ministry have a say and a role in creating a pro-business environment that enables companies to easily maneuver the market in Saudi Arabia. Some of the initiatives we've launched and triggered together with other ministries is that we have identified over 600 pro-business reforms, of which 80% have already been implemented. I want to highlight a couple of those reforms. So it looks at the ease of receiving a license, a commercial license, as well as an investment license in Saudi Arabia. We're looking at the time it takes for customs clearance, the number of documents that are required for establishing a company in Saudi. But the point I want to highlight the most is that 100% foreign ownership is possible in Saudi Arabia anywhere in the base economy, as well as the special economic zones for almost all sectors. Lastly now, on how investors can access these opportunities. And there I'd like to share, and I believe we also have these QR codes at our stands in the exhibition area. We as a ministry, of course, are happy to be the first point of contact. We have our international offices around the world. Within our outreach deputyship, then we have our investment development deputyship, where we have 17 sectors ranging from healthcare over education, renewable energy, advanced manufacturing, and many others. These sector colleagues are the ones that will link you to the stakeholders, ministries, or private entities within the kingdom. They will help you evaluate your investment opportunities. They will help you evaluate any potential challenges you might have. And they will also guide you throughout funding options and different incentives. So we, as a Ministry of Investment, consider ourselves part of the team of the international companies to help them maneuver the ecosystem in Saudi Arabia. And there's a website called investsaudi.sa. Under that website, where you will also have the QR code to adhere, you will find access to opportunities, investment opportunities, project opportunities within Saudi Arabia that come from all the different mega and giga projects, as well as from different ministries. And as I said, at the end, once you've identified your potential opportunity, we as a ministry are there to guide and support you. And with that, actually, I would come to the end of my part and hope my colleague Abdurrahman will join us virtually now to give you a bit more of an insight on apparently the key topic of the day, which is energy and renewable energy specifically. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. AlGaraawi, thank you so much for your really impressive presentation. And now I think we are supposed to have our online presentation. Yes, please. So far, just a moment until we are technically ready to do so. Okay, energy sector. And we will have the opportunity to listen to Ahmed Alomar, the Business Development Manager, Energy Sector in the Ministry of Investment in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He is located at the moment in Saudi Arabia, and he will talk to us online immediately in a few seconds, we hope. Okay, Oh, yeah, we can hear you. We cannot see you. Ah, yeah, now I can see you. Yeah. A hearty welcome to you. I have to tell you, you know, this is an audience highly interested in everything that is going on, especially in the investment sector. We have 3 ministers listening to you and a high quality audience. Please just do not hesitate, go on. We welcome you heartily to our audience.
Thank you for having me. I wish I could be with you physically, but hopefully next time. I'm really happy to give you a presentation about the Saudi energy sector. I'll start by giving you a list of key industrial enablers in Saudi Arabia, then we will dive deep into the energy sector of Saudi Arabia. Shown here is